Warm and kind words to welcome me first of all, and a round of applause for Toastmaster Shubham for such engaging activity. Rightly said by Toastmaster Shubham, and one of my mentor, one of my business coaches, Mr. Siddharth Rajshekar, he also says the same thing, that in life, your focus is your biggest asset. So while we are here to improve our storytelling, the very first thing we need to do is to improve our focus. So before going on to the stage, delivering any speech or anything, what I invite all of you to do to start the session with, that before you deliver any presentation or story, set up a pre-stage ritual. You can just copy paste the activities which we did today, or in the field of neuro-linguistic programming, we learn certain mind techniques to focus, to be in a peak state. Do anything which sets you in the present moment, which sets you at your peak performance state. So are we all going to do that from today? Yes?
Yes.
Achha, how many of you have attended my sessions before? Oh, lovely. Almost all of you, huh? So for you, sir, and for both of you, whenever I ask you something and you have to acknowledge by saying yes, instead of yes, you'll acknowledge me in Punjabi.
Aho.
So how do we say yes in Punjabi? Yes?
Aho.
Aho. So are we all ready for the session?
Aho.
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 Great. You know, the strength is less today, but I'm really liking the energy all of you have, the beautiful smiles on the faces, the engagement you guys are showing in the meeting. So we'll carry forward the same enthusiasm. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Great. Awesome. So before I share anything about storytelling, I want to know from all of you. I want to know you guys better, and I want to know that why is storytelling important according to you, right? So starting with you, all of you just introduce three things. First of all, your name, anything about your profession in very short, and why is storytelling important according to you, right? So starting with you. Yes.
Stand up.
Yes. You can stand and yeah.
So my name is Suraj and I am a CA by profession. And as far as storytelling is concerned, so whenever we are in a group, so we need to initiate the communication with our colleague or maybe the friends. So there must be some storytelling character you must have, so that you can grab the attention of all of them, and whenever any kind of help you require in your life, so you can reach out to them and they will definitely going to remember by the way you have the storytelling, the strength that you have. So that's why I think storytelling is something which is very important.
Excellent, Suraj. Let's give a round of applause. Beautiful. Thank you. So storytelling helps us to build rapport. R-A-P-P-O-R-T, rapport. Just imagine you guys sitting in a friend circle, or let's say after your office meetings, you're sitting informally, all of them are tense. What if you can tell them a story at that point of time? It would help you to connect with the other person, isn't it? And in life, if you are able to connect with the other person, if you are able to establish a relationship, half of your networking problems, half of your relationship problems are gone. So one is that. What else? Yes, Shubham.
Hi, my name is Shubham, and by profession I'm a lawyer, currently an entrepreneur in training under my father and uncles. And apart from that, why storytelling? Because what I have felt is, we very well know fact about anything, but for example, a scientist is knowledgeable for his facts on atoms and anything, but to create an impact, who comes forward? Those are the politicians, those are the people in power. They take their help. Scientists doesn't know what to do after splitting the atom, but who gives them the work? The work is given by the people in power. They create a narrative, they create a story, they bring the ideology which the masses follow, which can even justify bombing other nations.
Yes.
That's the power of storytelling. And in my humble opinion, every superstition which we know from our childhood gets converted into an invention. Why? That's the power of storytelling.
Absolutely, Shubham. Let's give a round of applause for Shubham. One of my mentors of neuro-linguistic programming, Mr. Mohammed Rafi, he says that the world is not made up of atoms. It's made up of stories.
Yeah.
Any story you believe in becomes your ideology. Look at anyone who believes very strongly about one particular political scenario, one particular ideology, one particular way of living, they love the story behind it. Why is it that without naming the religion, two religions fight with each other? Because the politicians have planted certain stories in our head, isn't it? And once we learn how these stories are planted, and how these stories impact us as a human being, half of our limiting beliefs are gone, isn't it?
Yes.
So excellent point of view, Shubham. And you're doing very well. You're conducting all the wonderful activities and wonderful explanation about storytelling. Next trainer in making?
Maybe.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
Myself, Dr. Sangeeta Agarwal. Being a teacher,
Right.
I think storytelling is the atma of teaching. So, students, by telling and by listening, they learn that is the method of teaching. So it becomes pedagogy
Right.
for students, and they grasp the idea behind the topic and its concept and everything. So in teaching professions, the storytelling is the basic thing. So I really believe and I use it very effectively.
Excellent. Let's give a round of applause for ma'am. Thank you. So, just ma'am mentioned about the impact of stories on children. So, it brings me to a very important observation. How many of you have studied history during your childhood when you were in 9th and 10th? All of you, right? Be very, very honest. है ना, हम रिकॉर्ड तो कर नहीं रहे, right? किसी को कुछ बताना भी नहीं है. Be very honest. While you were reading history in your childhood, how many of you liked history? Only one.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. कभी-कभी.
Yeah.
Sometimes, है ना?
Right.
Right? On the other hand, how many of you love watching Bollywood movies like Chhawa? Almost all of you, huh? Or movies like Legend of Bhagat Singh, Gandhi. Any movie where history is being portrayed, like I read this fact few days back, 80% of such movies are blockbuster. On the other hand, ask someone, why do you not like history? Because in our school life, we learn history with a data imposed method. While we watch movies, we learn history in a storytelling style. Right. So stories help us to make content memorable. Singola ma'am?
Yeah.
Aho? Great. Yes. Moving on to you, sir.
Yeah. So basically, my name is Dr. Ashwini Agrawal, and I've also done my master's in business economics as well as a banker, and then my PhD in education and training, as I've shared it earlier. To me, I would put three things which I consider very important. They are the ABCs.
Right.
A, story helps me as a trainer. Story helps me to catch the attention.
Catch the attention.
Catch the attention of the audience.
Right.
I can make them stand still. I can make them become silent. With the help of the story, you are in a position to catch the attention. Second thing, whatever you want to deliver, the entire body can be crisply put into a story. The entire body, whatever the literature, whatever you want to put, you put it in the story, and that can be transmitted.
Right.
And C, I find it, what is the conclusion you want to draw can be extracted from the trainees itself if we make use of storytelling. Thank you.
Excellent. So again, somewhere in the similar point, that stories help us to catch someone's attention, to grab their attention, to make the content memorable and easy to float. What else? Yes, Deepak.
Yeah, so my name is DK and I'm the HR professional. And of course, since you already talked about the movies now,
Right.
but I will touch upon one of the option because I'm not sure whether my mates are knows that I'm fond of watching movies also.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that in the historical time when we were talking about reading the history subject and all that, I was very much afraid, you know, to learn the long portions. So that point of time, I remember I was keeping watching the movies at home. That one we have a cable system, and I was focusing on the historical movies in place of reading the history subjects. And it was helping me to recall and imagine the stories, right? Because as you rightly said, the story or the you can say the movies which you're watching over there as a visualizing it, right? It's easy to recall.
It's easy to recall.
We are able to relate ourselves. We are able to relate someone else. We are able to recall the history, what was happened.
Right.
We are living that moment sometimes in ourselves. So it's easy to recall, easy to tell someone what was happened that point of time. And of course, you can say the better way to learn how the thing was happened that point of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it always helped me that when that stories, that movies help me to just to explore myself or my thoughts in a different way to the people. What was happened, whether it be examinations or letting people know what was the answer for it. So if I can be able to what people learn from it, why can't I use that method for myself to let people know?
So, good point here. Now tell me, being an HR professional, do you also see the importance of storytelling in the corporate life?
Yes.
Yes. What would be the relevance for you as an HR?
So what I feel that if I'm telling people that you could do that, you can do that, what that was achievement and all that, it's so easy to people to grab it. They are just maybe listening to all those things and just going out.
Right.
Maybe they may not even be able to recall it later on. If I'll ask that people, that person, that group, maybe after a day or two, what was the topic, what was happened, what was your key takeaway.
Key takeaways.
So
Yes.
they are little confused. What was that? So if I was telling them in a different way about the story, so they are able to relate themselves.
Excellent.
They are able to talk about the key takeaways. They are able to have to position to note it down something that they have learned something from that story, and it's easy for them also to inculcate and let people know that that was a kind of a thing which you can also be use in your own life or maybe others' life. They give you suggestions, so that will be the impact.
Excellent, Deepak. So again, making content simple or making something easy to remember, right?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Let's give a round of applause. I'll tell you one more context in which storytelling can be used for HRs. So tell me one thing, ever happened that you are sitting in your cabin and people come with all type of problems, leave चाहिए, motivation नहीं आ रही है, internal motivation, external motivation, all those things, huh? HRs are like counselors in the organization.
Thanks.
You must be having like